are there. It's a swamp. Okay, swamp. And that is what the Niger Delta part of Nigeria mostly like. Okay, and this is why after spending over 600 billion naira, you won't believe that, Abby. That's how much they have spent on that road in the last 21 years. Over 600 billion naira. It's so ridiculous, right? That initially they said the project was going to cost Nigeria 115 billion. Then they reviewed it and they changed it to over 300 billion. Then later they changed it to over 500 billion. When Bokuwari came, the reason why I didn't touch it at all is that it's going to cost Nigeria about 10 trillion to build the East-West road from 110 or 115 billion. So if anybody who won't build that now, it will cost them 10 trillion. Okay. Now, Tifnubu is about to start a 15 trillion road over 700 kilometers. And you know something? Yesterday, I asked you, what is the stretch of the third mainland bridge in Lagos? And somebody finally gave me the answer. A lot of you gave the answers, okay? And that is 11.8 kilometers. Listen, from their coastal road to nowhere, they are planning to construct, you see that size of third mainland bridge, they are planning to construct 28 of that. That's what the East-West, it's the coastal road they want to build. That's the plan. All right? And from what, we know, you can continue to live in that land. If Tifnubu finishes 30 or 25 kilometers, and they have been able to help build the road they wanted to build in front of the Eco-Atlantic City. Everybody could kind of go to the Eco-Atlantic City, their own rich Novo friends, right? Buy houses and spend money. And then you go realize, you see those people who still have job and all the jobs that they will be lost, none of them will be replaced. And this is actually not because of you or any development. But whatever makes you sleep well at night, believe it, I will be here to remind you. Even if not 2035. That's just that. And but Author I think, will disagree with me. He wants you to believe that at the end of the day, Tifnumbu. Listen.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the grace, the Archbishop of Abuja. Thank you very much, my brother and my good friend, King George. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. This first time I'm coming here. I was born as an Anglican. But the unity in your church is very wonderful. You are more united. Love, kindness, singing. Everybody dancing. Yeah, but I have to beg you, anybody who wants to take Holy Communion with you, allow me to come and take Holy Communion. You can change him to join you. Because we are worshiping one God. We have this our president Buhari is a Muslim. But God instilled in him to go and look for George, the Christian. Out of 200 million Nigerians, look at that George. That shows that Tinubu has no boundary. No boundary. If you come to Abuja, you see Wike Isiboman. You see Omahi Isiboman, minister. Everywhere, no boundary. All the type of people we want. To lead Nigeria after 80 years, Nigeria will change. It started changing. Now I beg everybody to support him before we die. I am nothing to.
Nuisance Lele.
He is a criminal, by the way. And there are some deluded young Igbos that worships him. He's got so much money. Too much money. Author Easy. He has a oil block. He's the richest man in this or that. Like some of you are just so stupid. And stupidity has no real tribe or ethnic. He is a criminal. And if you are looking for one of the career generational criminals that were spread across different parts of Nigeria, helping the establishment to help continue to loot your common patrimony. This guy is one of them, right from the days of Abacha. These are people who have wealth without any, without any real production per se. It was made by the establishment. And that is why it will continue. It was one of those who wanted to make themselves godfathers in Eastern Nigeria. You want to be governor? Oh, he can just give you. And he's so good in giving this support. His support and his dirty blood money, right? To so many unfortunate politicians, put them in power. Those who don't give a damn about their people, you will trace this guy's money into their political rise. It's been like that. And when Bokwari was there, this is what he was doing. He was one of those who are helping the Bokwari to further promote and sponsor some of the violence that you are witnessing in Eastern Nigeria. I say this with all confidence because I know him very well. I know those of you are so ignorant, right? To not see how evil, the contribution of its evil or evilness to the ruinous and then destruction that we have witnessed in Eastern Nigeria in the last 8 years, especially. But yeah, I was telling the Easterners, because Tifnumbu is welcoming and there's no boundary, everybody can get there and get something. You see Wike now, should you see this, should you see that? So you should support Tifnumbu. In 20 years' time, Nigeria will just be great. Madman. And there are many. But to the Americans, they actually know Tifnumbu. Sure, you know. Let me play you this. This is how what Americans knows about Tifnumbu in one of their charts that some of us eavesdropped. Listen to, right? Now this one happened.
Yeah, can you break that down for the new people about the president of Nigeria and ties to Chicago?
The president of Nigeria, the right now president of Nigeria, was a major heroin supplier between, like, as I remember. I'm talking about knowing him directly in the late 80s to the early 90s. He was a major heroin supplier. Him and the other guy was either his cousin or brother, right? They ran a bunch of heroin through Chicago through the cab systems, right? So I'm telling you emphatically that the president of Nigeria right now was a major.
Yeah, can you break that down for the new people?
It's a major heroin trafficker to Chicago in the late 90s. In the later 80s and early 90s. That is Tifnumbu to an average American who knows who knows their onions when we are discussing about international politics and all of that. So they know him. Or you want me to be the one to come around and stop talking about this criminal and his friends? They know him. Everybody knows Tifnumbu. Heroin trafficker. His wife, heroin trafficker. Is is a few of people associated with them. Heroin traffickers. You can't change that overnight. It's not done. And then the country led by an heroin trafficker has a lot of these people as the consequences of the mismanaged country, a totally destroyed country. No thanks to those of you who are enabling them. Your future. Your future. That's Lagos, by the way. And I've been told that if you go buy yourself a very fancy car and you get caught in the traffic of Lagos, you would have to pay something. From nowhere, these miscreant, sort of mostly like ignored and abandoned the youth who have to fend for themselves anyhow. And whatever they can do, they will swamp on you. And you have to give them something, or else they can smash your car. And then you have to go and fix that. So imagine you are in your car, your fine car. They hear that your what do you call it? Your musical, whatever is blasting like boom, 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 boom. Then the next thing, hey. What happened? Hey, Baba, give us something. It's like, what? And anything can happen to you. I've had people got robbed because they are driving fancy cars in Lagos. Because you see those people that are not being, you see this wealth that is not really being equally shared. When the poor have nothing to eat anymore, they will first eat some of you where they look like say you are rich. When they finish eating you, then they will go for the rich. I actually want to see that, but it's just that we need to do something now, because now us they go eat first. Because we are the ones who have no protection. We are the ones who have no special guard or anything. You and I, we are hustlers, doing legitimate things to build a normal life for ourselves and our family. Some of us are really going to be very successful. We are still going to be the ordinary people, So we are the closest to the victim of this failed government and failed country. So now you and me, they go first targets. When they finish with you and me, they will now go for those ones who have built themselves tall walls, barbed wire walls, right? With AK-47 wielding security men, they will now go for them. That's why I don't know if I should say I want to see that, because I may not live to see that, because we will be the first. We will be the first. So, going forward, so, this guy I heard is I showed you yesterday as well, Peter Obi's meeting the obedience in Toronto, Canada yesterday, right? But it didn't really end there. This one is coming from a man they said possibly is the mayor of is it called Brampton? African Wahala. Is that called Brampton or Brompton? I've tried to go and look it up. I just kept forgetting. Is it Brampton or Brompton? Anyway, listen, he had this to say when he met with Obi in that same Canada town hall meeting yesterday. I think I should show you.
Wonderful to see for Nigeria. I went to Nigeria for the first time in 2007, and I went to Lagos, and I fell in love with the country. And 2 years ago, I went back, and once again, I went to Lagos, and I went to visit Ife, and I toured the country. And every time you go to Nigeria, you say to yourself, "When can I go back?" And
this is the mayor of Brampton.
When you're successful, Nigeria is going to be a destination for more and more to come and see. To invest, to help grow businesses. The tech scene in Nigeria is one of the best in the world. We know it's only going to grow. Nollywood, I was blown away with the size of Nollywood. The only thing I'd say is maybe Peter can help us with the traffic in Lagos. But in all seriousness, when I say I hope you feel the love, there is a love for Nigeria in my city, and I see it across the GTA, and I think the crowd you have here today welcoming you here shows that there's a love for you and for Nigeria. So on behalf of my city, I just want to say welcome, and we love Nigeria.
Well, thank you, Brown. Let me stand on all due and existing protocols. And again, please, for a bit of us, just do a little bit of listening. I'm going to spend this night, I'm going to stay here as long as you want.
Which was now a past event. But if you are in Canada, okay, and Brian of Brampton wants to visit Nigeria again, tell him we can get him a one-way ticket straight to Ede and on the next available train trip, like this one. I'm joking. It's not that bad. But that one is like when you are turned to a Dimeru, when you are tied with your load. And the most important thing is for you to arrive at your destination, okay? How you get there doesn't really matter or won't really matter. So Brampton Mayor, visit us the next time. You are so welcome. Now that is me rounding up on my own parts. And we are going to take course. I promise you, we're going to take us because I didn't take one yesterday, and we're supposed to have a Sunday sermon today. We didn't. Now we are here. So you have the chance of calling in tonight and then contributing too. Or I'll go make myself another cup of tea. All right? I've enjoyed tonight, and I hope you did too. If you did, sing with me after liking this broadcast, okay? We are almost 2,000 on YouTube, right? And right now, it seems like all of us are still practicing or doing your social distancing. Come on. I'll be back.
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
Thank you, Lord.
what
shall I say? Thank you, Lord.
speak in tongue, go. Abala bala bula ba. You dey speak in tongue. Are you speaking in tongue,
Hello.
Lady Charm? How are you?
Hello, Michael. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening to you. I'm very well. Thanks for asking. So how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Right.
I hope you've had a good weekend.
Well, so far so good. I try to make the best of everything.
Good, good, good. So we've, you know what? I've been thinking about this Lagos Calabar road, right? So I think I was having a conversation with my sister. I was saying to her that this so-called Lagos Calabar road that they want to build, that I don't believe that they want to build any road. I was literally saying to her that I don't believe they want to build any road. I said to her that they probably sold all that whole landscape to someone, right, who will build a structure there and then exclude Nigerians, right? Because that's what some foreigners know how to do. Build things and exclude Nigerians within our own country. Now you tell me that America and some other countries want to build bases in Nigeria. Let our people open your eyes and open your ears. They want to build bases in Nigeria, right? And they want a coastal area. Do you see where I'm going?
I am following you.
Because you and I know that even they're not going to build any stupid road.
No.
Right? They're not going to build any the road to nowhere. And from what every other person has said about that so-called road, they said they were going to build it on the other side. So even if per chance they're even going to build anything, it's not in the place where they have, been destroyed. You have to ask yourself, what was the expediency for destroying all of that property? But it's to show commitment that they can do what they can deliver on what they said that they would deliver. So if they told them that they wanted the coastal area and the agreement was that, okay, we'll build this base, right? But you're going to give you a coastal area. You have to show us your commitment to providing us that coastal area. Then you go again with expediency and destroy all of those things to show your commitment. Because there's nothing to show that there's nothing because, to say that, like, I think this lady from Arise TV was saying to them that they should produce the, I think some documents.
Environmental inspection or something like, yeah,
to show that, okay, they've done all of these things and actually, they followed due process, basically, right? But they haven't done that.
No.
But they expediently destroyed all those houses. And now we're hearing America want a base and they want it in a coastal area. My ego. Okay.
We should see. But they are telling us right now that the American and French base, they are planning to situate them in the north. I wasn't even thinking about this. That's another eye-opener. That should be shock us when that is announced, yeah?
But you know that they're not going to announce anything to us. They're not going to tell us anything. And they say, our people have ADHD, short attention span. So until they bring something else, and then we'll all forget about this road and look at something else. And that's the way that the politicians have always played us. They do something ridiculous, and then we're all talking about it one moment, and then the next moment we've pushed our attention somewhere else instead of focusing on the real thing. That's where the problem is. And then we talk a lot about illiteracy, because I've been listening to Aduke. She's been calling in and she's really showing concern about the education and everything.
Yes.
You know that there's a massive fear in the Western world about Africa. Africa has the largest number of youths, right?
Yes.
Africa has, I don't know how to explain it, but there is a fear that we outnumber them, right? Now, the weapon that they're going to use against us is illiteracy. So they have to ensure that majority of those people remain illiterate right now, because how else are you going to be able to become a zombie in your own country? Is when you don't have information, when you don't have the capacity to push against your government, just like you're talking about now. Previously, when they had floated the idea of having bases in countries like Nigeria, you have people who were learned enough to say, no, we don't want any of this, right? But as the people become more illiterate, right, it makes it easier for them to do anything they want in that country, because the people are not as literate or able to push the government, you know, to say, okay, we understand such and such and such, and you're not meant to do this, and push them real hard, right? But as long as the people remain illiterate and unable to, you know,